Hello everybody and welcome to my YouTube channel. If you watched my last video that I made, you will know that my baby boy has been born finally, and he is absolutely perfect, bless him. We've named him Jareth. His middle name is Jordan, so it's Jareth Jordan, and we're nicknaming him Baby JJ. Yes. Fast asleep, bless him. Okay, so I'm making this vlog to tell you my labour and delivery story. So I think it was about 2 o'clock in the morning that I got rudely awoken by really bad back pain, and it was really bad back pain. It was keeping me up, and I couldn't get back to sleep, so I ended up getting up and just pacing up and down the room and trying my best to try and get rid of this back pain. At first I thought it was actually just Braxton Hicks or something. I didn't think I was going into labour because it wasn't on his due date, it was before his due date. So I thought, no, I'm not going into labour, it's probably just Braxton Hicks, or it's probably just the normal back pain that I have, but it was quite bad. And I think it was about 5 o'clock in the morning that I finally woke my partner up, because we were spending some time at his house. So I wasn't at home, I was at my partner's house. And I finally woke him up at about 5 o'clock in the morning, telling him that I was in pain, and the pain had gradually got worse by then, so I was crying my eyes out. And I left it a little while longer, just pacing up and down and really feeling uncomfortable, until I decided to phone the midwife just to ask for some advice and see what I should do. And she told me to get in the bath and see if it eased the pain off. So I did. I got straight in the bath after she said that. And I think that was at about 6 o'clock in the morning that we decided it would probably be a good idea to ring the midwife again and tell her that the pains had still not gone. So we rung her again, and we were told to go in to be assessed. So we went in to be assessed, and basically we went into the delivery suite room, and she examined me and everything and said I was only 2 to 3 centimetres dilated, and she said it was probably going to be a long time before the baby came, especially with it being my first baby. But she said I was in the early stages of labour, and she said that it might be best if we go home. So I rang my mum and dad because I wanted to go back to my house because of how uncomfortable I was feeling, and they came and picked us up with the intention of taking us home, but we drove not even halfway back to my house before I was having lots of contractions that were quite regular, and they were quite strong. Because I think what kicked it off is when she examined me at the hospital, she did a sweep as well, and they say that can make things progress quicker. So my dad turned the car around and said that he wasn't taking me home while I was having all these contractions, and we went back to the hospital, and we stayed in the delivery suite room for not very long at all before they said that basically, because it could get busy and because I wasn't in full-blown labour, that we had to leave that room and go and sit on the ward. But they would only let me and my partner sit on the ward. My mum and dad weren't allowed. So we had a walk around the hospital for a bit while I was having contractions. We went to what they call the rooftop restaurant and had something to eat and had something to drink, because I'd had nothing at all to eat or drink at that point with me going into labour so early. I didn't have any breakfast or anything, and neither did my partner. So we had something to eat and drink at the rooftop restaurant, sat there for a little bit and watched their TV, and then we walked back down to the ward, and sat there for a little bit, but basically they kept saying that I wasn't far enough in labour and stuff, so we ended up walking back up to the rooftop restaurant and walking around the hospital for even longer. My mum kept taking lots of pictures of me while I was having contractions, and we on the floor of the hospital there was like a fake like crossing, so we did the Beatles picture on the fake crossing and had a little bit of a walk round until we finally went back on the ward, and my dad decided to go home, so it was just me and my two birth partners, my partner Jordan and my mum, and they let my two birth partners sit on the ward with me this time. And because of the pains that I was having, they said that they would run me a bath, and I had a bath in the hospital. I think I stayed in the bath for about, it was a good hour. It might have been more than an hour, to be fair. I stayed in the bath for a long time with my mum and my partner with me, and it was my mum that said that she thought I was further along than what they thought because of how many contractions I was having, and she said because of the way I was acting. So, but she said I was really calm. I was really calm through the contractions. I wasn't screaming or anything. I was just concentrating and getting through them. And my mum asked the nurses to examine me again. So they did. And when they examined me again, they said I was actually more like 6-7 centimetres dilated, relaxed. But she said if she stretched, then I was a good 8 centimetres dilated, and I was nearly ready for having the baby. So they just made me a cup of tea when I started getting even stronger contractions and feeling like I was nearly at the point of pushing. And yeah, so they had to quickly rush me on the bed down to delivery suite so that I could have him in a delivery room. So they rushed me on the bed and wheeled me down to delivery suite, and we were finally in our own delivery room again. And I wasn't long in there at all before I was pushing him out, and I only had gas and air. I didn't have any other pain relief but gas and air, and gas and air is absolutely awful stuff. It makes you feel really, really drunk and really, really dizzy, but it did help with the pain. It eased the pains a lot. But I found that actually when I was just breathing through them, it was probably helping me more with the pains than the gas and air was making me really, really dizzy. But yeah, at 4:05, I think it was, this little baby boy was born, and they put him straight on my chest, and both me and his dad were crying his eyes out. We were really, really emotional, and I'm really proud of him because he even managed to cut the cord, and I really wanted him to cut the cord, and he did. He cut his cord, didn't he? Yeah. And yeah, that's my labour and delivery story. We stayed in the hospital for just 2 days, and then we got to bring him home, which was really, really, really good. I loved bringing him home for the first time and letting both the cats see him, and everybody. We've had so many visitors lately. It's been unreal. Everybody's been coming round for cuddles, and my brother and his partner's coming round today to come and see him. And yeah, that's my labour and delivery story for baby Jareth Jordan. And hopefully I'll be making another video soon for you to update you. And today he's actually 1 week old, and I absolutely can't believe it, that he's already a week old, and it was a week ago today that I was pushing this little bundle of joy out, and he's already growing up way too fast. So thank you for watching. Bye!